The Gauteng Department of Education has today assured parents that the new online application system is ready for use and will be fully functional from the 19th of April. Since Monday, the system has been down due to a lack of capacity, therefore unable to accommodate each applicant. Complaints to the department varied from the system recording incorrect information or not recording information at all. Educational authorities have apologized for the system crash. Only pupils going into grade 1 and 8 next year qualify for the online registration system. All right, let's take you back now to today's signing on the election ethics code at Constitutional Hill in Johannesburg. Our reporter Tumole Mchladi is there. Tumole, good afternoon to you. This is all about parties committing to ethical and responsible campaigning, but also about parties electing responsible candidates. How was it all received this morning, Tumole?
Thank you very much, Natasha. Well, it was well received. Definitely a unanimous outpouring and welcoming of the signing of the charter here by political players from right across South Africa's political landscape. I think some of the people gathered here today even joked this is the first time where you can have all the various political parties in one place under one roof where they are all in agreement. And they were just basically agreeing to some of the principles that are laid out in the election charter, things like, free and fair speech being encouraged amongst political parties and non-intimidation of opposition parties and encouraging communities to be tolerant when you think about intimidation when political parties go out to canvass support, and basically making sure that parties go out and canvass for support in the spirit of building the South African democratic process and making sure that everything is according to the letter of the law. So now we are joined here live now. So can you just let us know in terms of the organization and SALGA or the organizers, are you happy with what the political parties have signed to and some of the messages that were delivered here?
Well, we're very happy as SALGA, working in partnership with the Moral Regeneration Movement. And from last year, when we conceptualized this program to say we need to bring together a binding pledge for all political players in South Africa to make sure that consistent with the values of our constitution, we create conditions of peace and tolerance whenever there is a cycle of elections. So we're starting now with the 4th democratic local government elections and making sure that over these 15 years we have learned incidences where in municipalities we have leadership that has done very well under the most difficult circumstances. We also have instances where the binding contract between the elected and those served has most of the sometimes not been very, very strong. So we want to make sure that as we elect new leaders, SALGA will be running a program around ethical leadership as part of its induction. And it will also do the same for municipal managers. So at the administration at municipalities and those who are elected to serve citizens, they do so under the guidance of the pledge that has been signed, and also make sure that the program launched by the President in 2014, Back to Basics, one of the key pillars is a pillar of putting people first. How to make sure that those that would receive the baton of leadership, they are there, they have been properly molded to act in the best interest of citizens, of South Africans. And we do hope that we can build a critical mass of public representatives who are only there to serve, and whenever there's instances of maladministration, fraud, and corruption, they are the first one to raise their hand and act in the best interest of citizens, to expose those and make sure that we are all good patrons of South Africa. We are also there to make sure that serving our people, we wear a badge of pride, as opposed to making sure that instead of serving the people, we serve ourselves. So we're very pleased as SALGA that we will have a program that will be running right through beyond elections and make sure that the new crop of councillors that we have in our country is people of repute, people of integrity, people that we know that we cannot second guess whether their presence there is going to safeguard the interests of the people or not. So we're quite pleased as SALGA. We do hope that going forward, having traveled this 15-year journey of democratic system, we have learned from our mistakes. We also look forward to a good crop of leaders that will indeed make our country proud. And there can be no better platform to sign this pledge than the Constitutional Hill, the only place that bears the aspirations of our people, the trials and tribulations, the hopes of our nation, and making sure that we bring all of them in the Constitutional Hill can only be an icing on a cake to have a commitment in this particular sacred place.
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much.
So this is how we come to the end of the program, the official program here on Constitutional Hill. And I must say that many of the speakers and many of those in attendance certainly were really struck by how the various political organizations spoke in one voice and basically recommitting themselves and saying that the bigger picture is what's most important, which is why they felt that they had to sign to this pledge to ensure that they do their bit to ensure that the upcoming local government elections are free, are fair, and certainly that no one is impeded in any way, and that the democratic process of South Africa goes forward smoothly as can be expected. Well, with that, it's back to you in the studio, Natasha.
Well, thank you very much. Our reporter Tumuli Maklaudi live from Constitution Hill.